Up until this point, we have created some teams, we've added people to our teams, we've looked at files, we've looked at adding files, creating folders and all that. But let's just have a look at what sort of options do we have available for a team. So we're going to go through all the options together here. Have a look. So the first one is the three dots on your team name. Okay, the more options on the team name. Let's see what we have available there. So click on that. We've already covered the hide team. So the first one is manage team. So if I click on manage team, this brings up all the various options I have for managing my team. I can see at a glance the members, the owners, and the guests or members of my team over there. If anyone has requested to join the team, if you've enabled that, then you will see requests in this section here. I can have an overview of all my channels that I have available, and I can then show them or hide them, and I can also then have further options on my channels, but we'll look at that in a minute. Okay, let's see what else we have. Settings for the entire team. So settings basically is just permissions. So your theme is here. Let's have a look here. Your theme, you can change the theme. You can go and pick a, let's pick something like that. That's pretty cool. Click update there, and you'll see that the icon for my team will now be updated. So it's a nice visual option. Let's go back to my options. Manage team. Settings. Right. Member permissions. Let's have a look here. Right, you can allow members to create and update channels if you want. I would not recommend that if this is a class. You can allow members to delete and restore their channels, add or remove apps, upload custom apps, create, edit, and remove tabs. As you will see, these are all off at the moment, and there's a good reason for that. You don't want your students going crazy and starting to click on everything and add as many things as they can. It creates pure chaos. Owners can delete all messages. Well, that's you, so yes, you do want to be able to do that. Give the option for members to delete their messages. Also good. Somebody might post something and it's all wrong and they made a mistake. They can edit that, and they can also edit their messages if you allow them to. That's member permissions. Guest permissions. Now, let me explain what that means. In a team, you can not just have people from your organization or your school, you can also invite other people from outside of that as guests, like parents or guardians or friends or whatever. So it's a difficult one because you might not want to have other people in your class team. That's up to you and your school to decide, but it is possible for you to have guests, and they can have very limited permissions in your team as well. Mentions. We'll get onto mentions a bit later when we look at some of the extra features, but we can also decide on who will be allowed to use the @ symbol and mention a person's name or a team name to get their attention. Very similar to Twitter when you mention someone in a status update. The team code. Let's have a look here. Now, at the moment, we don't have a team code, but this is really handy to have. If you would like people to join your team, remember when we went down to the bottom here and it said join or create a team? That join one, I'll show you now what that does. So I'm going to generate a code. Click on generate. It just creates a random code. I can put this full screen if I was presenting this to a class. I can reset it, remove it, or just copy it and paste it somewhere. The team code is for when people want to join your team. Watch this. If I click on join or create a team, you'll see here, there's create a team, and there is join a team with a code. And that's actually really handy. Instead of you manually adding a student at a time, so let's say you've got like 50 students, you don't want to type in 50 names. Just give them the code, and they will be able to then say join a team with a code, punch in the code, and they are then in your team automatically. That really helps. Back to settings. Fun stuff. Here we just have a couple of settings and some security or security settings. So we've got Giphy, which makes animated GIFs, and we can then choose a appropriate level. If we put on strict, that is definitely worth it because you don't know what's going to come up when they search for animated GIFs. Stickers and memes, these are all built in, and they do custom searches and they can add their fun stuff. It actually just makes your team a lot more fun. I would recommend using that. It's all good. Right, OneNote class notebook. Now, I haven't created the class notebook for this class, so if I did, I would have settings here that I could work with. Tags, you can tag content. It just makes searching for things a lot easier as well, but that is what the tags do. Okay. Analytics, we can see who's doing what in the team, how much engagement has there been in your class in terms of your Microsoft team, who's done what, and this also is applicable to your assignments. Apps is where we can see what apps we do or don't have access to, and of course we can also add more apps to the team. So the settings of our team just gives you access to all of these various options.